Hi there, join me for a desk stretch session. So this session is perfect whether you sit at a desk all day or you don't, because your spine, shoulders, and neck will love you for this. The only thing that you need is a chair with a back to it, and if you don't have that available to you, then a desk would work as well. All right, let's go start stretching. Hi there, I'm PJ from fitnesswithpj.com as well as over50fitness.co. And hey, before we get started, if you're here on YouTube doing this workout with me, click subscribe, click that like button. And if you're using this workout on the Over 50 Fitness app, ads free, then hey, head to our private community afterwards because I would love to know what you thought of it. All right, we're going to start standing and then we'll work our way onto the chair. Deal? Awesome. Hands in your back pocket, feet apart, abs engaged. Let's do some gentle extensions of the spine. What happens when we sit a lot is we tend to flex the spine, which can be dangerous for the lower lumbar and create back pain. So this is just balancing that out. This is similar to doing a modified cobra on the ground. Last two, and one more. Good job. Have your side to your chair or desk. Inside leg crosses over, outside arm reaches up and over, and push the hip away from your chair or desk. Now lift the chest up and bring that elbow as right over top of the ear, so it's not coming in front of the body. This is going to give you a deeper side body stretch, while we also stretch the side of the hip and into your IT band as well. Holding each stretch for a few breaths. As you hold it, you may feel that initial tightness subside. At that point, your body's letting you know, hey, you can take it a little deeper if you'd like. And release. Other side, I'm just going to move my chair so I don't have my back to you. Inside leg crosses over, arm reaches up and over, and then push the hip away from your chair, desk or wall, and then bring that arm so it's right over the ear, reaching across. Two more breaths. And release. Having your thumbs up and resting on your chair top, or if you don't have that available, a desk. Heels underneath the hips, push the bum back now and drop your body through the arms. So let's keep the arms as straight as you can and then readjust the heels so they're under your hips. Press the backs of the knees towards the wall behind you. Feel the length happening down the sides of the body as well as the back of your legs. Thumbs are pointed up, so we really get the lats involved, big muscles down the sides of the back that can be tight. And then if you want more of a stretch in the hamstrings, think about pushing your tailbone up to the ceiling. We're not rounding the low back, we're actually doing a little bit of extension in that low spine to lengthen the hamstrings. Two more breaths. And come on up. Have a seat in your chair now. Using the back of the chair to get into your T-spine, which is our mid-back area. Well, actually, it's from shoulders down to your waistband, but what we're going to hit is the mid-back, which can be locked up, especially for people seated at a desk. Interlace the hands behind the head and let my chair's quite high, but if yours is resting right at the shoulder blades, that's even better. You're just going to let the upper body drop back over your chair. Feet are planted. Abs engaged slightly. And we're trying to get the extension from that mid-back area. We're holding onto the head with our hands, so we're not letting that neck rock right back. And feeling a stretch, perhaps too, in the front of your body, your pecs, while we get that extension in that T-spine. And release. I love that. I love that stretch. All right, getting into the hip flexors, which can shorten when we're seated. One hamstring on your chair, the other leg, step it back, and then just wiggle it back until you feel the stretch into that hip there. Now, you want the shoulder and the hip aligned, so we're not leaning forward. Once you've established the stretch, and I'm holding onto my chair here on the back for some balance and support, but once you've established the stretch, inhale that arm straight up, and now exhale and lean towards the back of your chair, getting a stretch in side body, hip, and then we get the front of the hip, your hip flexor, with that leg being an extension. Keep the arm up there, come back up to center, and then allow this arm to circle behind you nice and slow, getting some movement into the shoulder. Excellent. Other leg. So we've got hamstring of this leg on your chair. Walk this one back, shoulder and hip aligned. Inhale that arm straight up, separating rib from hip. Exhale, lean towards the back of your chair. Back to center, circle this arm slowly behind you. Coming into a seated position, getting into the forearm flexors, which are used quite a bit or overused with typing and with your computer mouse. Extend the arm straight out, bring the fingertips so they're pointed down to the ground, and now rotate the thumb away from the midline. So I'm pulling the hand towards me and then rotating it away from me to get a stretch in that top part of the forearm. If you've ever had tendonitis in the elbow, this is a good stretch for you. And let's shake it out. Other arm. So we start with a straightened arm, fingertips to ground, and then rotate the thumb away from the midline. And you'll probably find your computer mouse hand or arm tighter. This is the one that I use my computer mouse on, and it's a lot tighter than my other arm. Good. Now, separate the fingers as wide as you can, clasp them together, pull them down, and just separate the fingers. We're just trying to stretch through the hand. Now, allow the hands to go down until you just feel the palms lift off a bit. Good. Again, we're trying to stretch through the fingers on this. So lift the elbows up and you might get more of a stretch. And release, shake it out. Take your right arm behind you. Chin is in, ear to shoulder, stretching into the side of the neck and the upper traps. Your posture is nice and tall, so I like the feet planted on this and then lift up through the chest and spine. Now, if you want a little bit more of a stretch, by all means, gently pull the ear towards the shoulder, but the key word there is gently. The neck is sensitive, so give it respect. Now let's move into the Levator Scap, which is a really tight muscle, especially if you use a computer. Bring the chin in towards the armpit. Hand now goes behind the head and gently pull that chin in towards your armpit. You'll feel the stretch in the neck, but as well in a different sensation, more of the top of the shoulder. That's your Levator Scap. It connects on the first two vertebrae of the neck and goes down into the collarbone area. Try to relax that right side of the body as best you can. And release. Let's do the other side. So arm behind, chin is in, and then simply drop the ear to the shoulder. From there, if you want a bit more, remember you can give a gentle pull down. Chin to armpit, hand now more behind the head, and just give a gentle pull in, chin coming closer towards that right armpit. And release. Woo. Into the upper back area. Take the right arm, left one on top, and then lift the elbows up and grab onto the hands if you're able to. But this is going to help separate the shoulder blades and get a stretch into that mid-back area. Here's the side view of this. This is an intense stretch, so if you're unable to grab onto your hands, no worries. Do your best, and let's release. Other arm on top now, and lift up. Gaze is straight ahead. And release. We'll finish the series off the way we started, standing. Take your left leg on top of your chair. Hinge forward, keeping this left leg fairly straight to stretch into the hamstrings, which you can really shorten up with excessive sitting. And once again, that first tightness that you first encountered when you got into the pose, it may subside a bit, at which point, see if you can go a little deeper. Release. Other leg. Here we go. So push the hips back so the hinge comes through the hips. Quite often when people try to stretch their hamstrings, they start that stretch with their upper back. And that's nowhere near where the hamstrings are located. So let's get that posture, push the hips back, and really feel that length in that back of your thigh. And see if you can go a bit deeper. And release. Thank you so much for joining me. If you did this series because you do sit at a computer a lot, hey, I recommend doing this at least once a day during your work day. Push yourself away from the computer. Your body, your joints will love you for it, and we will keep you injury-free too, and your low back healthy and happy. Thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, if you're on YouTube, click that subscribe, and if you'd like to give us a try at Over 50 Fitness, there is a free 14-day trial down below for you. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.